Hey guys and girls, it is a cold, rainy, windy day here in southern Oklahoma on a Sunday afternoon. It's about the first Sunday we've had like this, and I don't know how long. We've had such beautiful fall weather. It's Thanksgiving week, and Thanksgiving week we need to, in this country, stop just a minute or two and think about all the things that we have to be thankful for. We live in the greatest country in the world. I don't know of any other country in the world that people are filing in by the hundreds of thousands just because of how great that country is. I don't know of any other country in the world that has the freedoms that we have here in America. There's a couple of wars going on in countries right now. I thank the Lord that we're not one of those countries that people are being killed every day. And those countries are those countries that where the war is going on are not democracies. They're not democratic countries, and I think that's probably a big part of why we have such a great country here in America. We have many, many, many men and women that have been willing to sacrifice and even lay down their lives to fight to keep freedom in. And we're 200 and whatever it is now, 250 years about of what they call an experiment. Well, I think after 250 years, it's not an experiment anymore. It proves that the Constitution of the United States works. It proves that we live in a great, great country. Yes, we do have our problems, but, we probably in this country, we probably spend too much time thinking about our differences and not thinking about all of the things that we have that are good. The majority of the people in this country work. They get up and go to work every morning, 6-7 days a week. They earn a good living, they pay taxes, they obey the laws. The majority of the people do that. The people that don't do that, the ones that's living on welfare, the ones that's living off the government, and many of those several million that's come in from other countries are living off the government, but thankfully they can do that because there are millions of us out here working, paying taxes so they can have free hotel rooms and free telephones and free health care and free schooling and free medical care and all of that. Not many countries could do that. Not many countries could take in several million people as we have in this country and taking care of them the way we have. So we've got that to be thankful for. Is that a problem? And do we have a lot of people in here that mean to do harm for the United States? Yeah, we probably do. And they probably will sometime pretty soon. But when they do, we'll hunt them down and take care of them just like we did after 9/11. The sad part about it is probably going to be a lot of Americans die in the meantime. But we have a great country. We just have a great country. The majority of the people that we have in public office, whether that be from the county commissioner and the county sheriff all the way up to the president of the United States, the governor of each one of the states, the majority of the people we have are great Americans. The majority do care about America. The majority of those people are honest. And I know a lot of y'all thinking out there, well, I can't think of too many politicians that are honest. Well, I've known a lot of politicians in my lifetime, and the majority of them that I've known personally, and several presidents. I met every president except President Obama and President Biden, back all the way back to Jimmy Carter, who lost his wife Rosalind today, married 77 years. You know, I told Chris, I said, honey, do you think we'll ever make it 77 years? And she said, that's a long time, Jimmy, that's a long time. We're about to hit 60 years at the end of December. We'll be married for 60 years. And I told her, I said, we will, honey, we will. One of these days, I'll tell you, do you remember back the day that Rosalind Carter died and her and Jimmy Carter had been married for 77 years? You remember that? And we thought that was such a long time, and now we've been married for 77 years. That's just 17 years or more is all it is. So certainly a lot less than what we've got behind us. But we have so much to be thankful for. In your personal life, however your personal life might be, some of you are doing fantastically well. Some of you are happy and joyful and every day. Most of you that are that way have got Jesus in your heart, Jesus in your life, God in your life, and that's the reason you're happy. But so those of you that are not happy, can I tell you, maybe you just need to dwell on what you have instead of what you don't have. And think about, you may be having a hard time, let's say, making your house payment or making your apartment to rent, but you have a place to lay down inside tonight, turn the heat up if it's cold and stay warm. Most of you out there have a job. I've got more jobs than I could say grace over, to be honest with you. But most of you had a job. There's a lot of people that don't. Pretty much everybody in this country that we live in can get a job. If they don't have one, they can get a job. They can go to work tomorrow, just about any city in the country. Some of you own your own houses. Just think about that for a second. In most places around the country, very few people own their own houses, only the very wealthy. And by world standards, what we term as the middle class here in the United States, very wealthy people. in other countries, very wealthy people, and we call ourselves middle class. That's and we are. That's exactly what we are. We're not poor. We're not rich. We're middle class. We're working hard, and we just got so much to be thankful for. If you're having health problems, you're still alive. If you're having health problems, you're still alive. If you're going through a situation like Chris and I are going through with her stroke almost 32 months ago when she had that stroke, and I prayed for 646 miles. I talked to God solidly for 646 miles, turning around, driving back from Alabama. I'd driven 646 miles that day and turned around and drove back 646. And I just kept saying, God, keep her alive, keep her alive, keep her alive. It meant so much to me just to be able to go in and hold her hand and feel her pulse and feel her warmth and to look into her eyes that we're still alive. I know Chris is not afraid of dying. She's going straight to heaven in a heartbeat. And if that's before me, which I don't think it'll be, but if that's before me, she'll be waiting on me to show up. She'll know I'll be showing up, that's for sure. But I had a doctor that next morning. I've told you this before. Many of you just got on this channel recently and haven't seen this, but the doctor told me she would probably never leave that hospital alive. Got pneumonia or something right now. I don't know. It's pretty bad. I have taken some ivermectin in case it's COVID. I am taking Theraflu in case it's a flu. So, if I could just get by another day or two, I should be okay. I was better this morning, much, much worse this afternoon. But if Chris, he told me that she would not be able to come back to this ranch. She lives here with me 100% of the time right now. Her and I was here every day this week. The only time we were out was last Sunday going to church. We did not go to church this morning. I just couldn't go. I mean, I got up at 7:30 and we leave at 9:30, so it takes 2 hours for me to get ready and get Chris ready, and I just couldn't go. And besides that, I was a little concerned that if I do have the flu or the cold or COVID, I could pass it on to somebody else. And we have several people in our church that are elderly, and so I certainly worry about them catching the flu or pneumonia or COVID. And so I told Chris, I said, I think it's just better, honey, if I don't go to church today. And first Sunday we've missed, and I don't know how long, except a Sunday or two where we had other churches on Sunday. But it's we live in a country we can go to church. Think about that. Think about what a freedom that is. We can go to the church of our choice. If you want to go to an Islamic church here in the United States, you can. If you want to go to a Methodist or Episcopalian or Catholic, you can. If you want to go to a Baptist church, which I think most people do, you can. Not many countries allow that. We are allowed here in this country to choose our sexual orientation. In the countries where they are having those wars fought right now, if you are anything other than just straight sexual orientation, you get killed. You get killed. That's it. They don't allow that. We're allowed to, as bad as I think it is, guys are allowed to choose if they want to be a girl, and girls are allowed to choose if they want to be a guy. And I think once they get to be 18 or 20 years old, or old enough to vote, or old enough to get drafted in the military or whatever, old enough to join the military, I think if they want to make that choice, that's up to them. I think we should absolutely quit forcing it on these kids in school. We have a lot of problems. I'm not going to talk about any of the problems, but because we have so much stuff going good. As bad as most people in this country think our educational system is, we have a lot of great teachers out there. I don't think the majority of the teachers are great, but I think we have a lot of great teachers out there. I've got 2 great teachers in my family, and they think the way that most of the Americans think. They're trying to teach those kids how to do everything they can do, and they're not teaching them politics in school. They're not teaching them to be an ideology. They're not teaching them to hate somebody because they're a different color. They're not teaching them to hate themselves because they're white. They're not teaching them to hate America. They're teaching them to love America. They're teaching them to love America. And can I tell you, it's very, very important that we teach our kids how to love America, because that's just not something that comes naturally. You have to be taught to love America. Every day in school, we stood up, put our hands over our heart, and said, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And we sang the Star Spangled Banner in every ball game. We sang it at every fishing tournament I ever fished also. The Star Spangled Banner was played or sung or both. So it's just been an absolutely outstanding deal that we live in this country. So on this Thanksgiving, please, when you get around the dinner table, don't talk about any of the bad things that's happening in your family or any of the bad things that's happening in this country. Around your Thanksgiving table, talk about all the good things. Think about how you're blessed to have sons and daughters there, to have grandkids and great-grandkids and aunts and uncles and cousins and all of that kind of stuff. Think about that. Some of y'all don't have that. I know. Some of y'all don't have that. But think about friends that you have. I asked Apache that works here and lives here on the ranch. I love him dearly. I asked him, I said, are you doing anything for Thanksgiving Thursday? And I said, he said, well, one of his girlfriends are coming out to fix Thanksgiving dinner at his house here on the ranch. And I said, well, I just asking because if you didn't have anybody coming or you want to go to somebody's house, you'd come eat Thanksgiving dinner with us. And he said, no, we're cooking a big turkey at my house. So that's fantastic. I've also noticed here in Oklahoma, and I'm sure we've seen it all over the United States of America, where people are giving away Thanksgiving dinners to so many folks, and folks that can't, a lot of them can't afford it. Some of them will go get a free turkey and free trimmings and everything just because it's free, but most of those people that go get that can't afford that big Thanksgiving dinner. They just can't afford it. I saw where for 10 people it's $60-some-odd, $64 I think the average for 10 people to cook at your house Thanksgiving dinner. And you go clear out to Seattle, Washington, I think it was $137 out there. That's how expensive the prices are out there. There's a lot of things we need to solve, but I think that we will. There's a lot of things we need to change in this country. I think we will. There's a lot of things we need to go back to in this country that made this country great. I think we will. I think that we live in the greatest land in the world, the United States of America. And some of y'all that are 20, 25 years old have been taught in school to hate this country. Don't hate this country. All you need to do is go to other countries around the world and you'll realize what a great country the United States of America is. When you're thanking God for your family, your friends, the Thanksgiving meal, thank Him that He sent Jesus Christ, His Son, to die for your sins and my sins so that we could spend eternity in heaven with Him. We're just passing through. Whether we're in Ukraine or Gaza or Russia or Argentina or wherever, we're just passing through this world. What we do here is important, but in the grand scheme of eternity, it's a small, small sliver of time. So just be thankful for everything you've got. If you think of something that's bothering you, it's a little bit bad right now in your life going on that's bad, turn it around and think about the positive aspect of it. There's a positive aspect to just about everything, just about everything. You know, you've heard all your life the old deal about a glass being half full or half empty. What about when the glass is only a quarter full? What about, well, by golly, that glass is about empty. It's 3/4 empty. No, that glass got a little water in it. Got a little water in it. So that's a good deal right there. Many places around the world, water is as precious as just about anything that they have. Water is precious here in the United States, but we have an abundance of it. We're blessed with an abundance of it. We are blessed by Almighty God. In America. We are blessed as a country. Even those of you that do not believe in God, God believes in you. And He let you be born here in the United States of America to enjoy a country and a land blessed by Him. So guys and girls, have you a great Thanksgiving week out there. A lot of you are going to be deer hunting. If you're in Oklahoma, it's the first week of the 2-week deer season. Deer season's all over the South. I know that for a fact. Probably a lot of places in the North it's still going on too. Good luck out there in the woods. When you're out there in that tree stand, sitting there and nothing's going on, just bow your head and talk to God for a few minutes, and it will change your week. Might change your life. Just talking to God while you're out in the woods. God's listening. And can I tell you that God keeps blessing this nation because He has lots of good Christian men and women here who have not bowed their knees to Baal, who honor Him in their life, honor Him in everything they do. And as long as we have men and women do that, God will continue to bless America. Guys and girls, God bless America. And remember, I sure do love you.